Hey folks, and welcome back to the channel. So we got some good news, and that is that swaps are now working once again on the mobile station. And this is really important moving forward for us as a community to start to understand that there are a lot of things going on behind the scenes. And a lot of us are people that just want to get the job done. We're not going to be sat there on Twitter and be doing all of these things. There's so many people that are putting time into getting things working. And one of those things simply is swaps coming back. And like I said, this is really, really good because currently we have TerraSwap, which provides a lot of our on chain swapping. What we want to see moving forward is working in symbiotic relationships with people like White Whale, any kind of DEX that wants to come on chain. And I know, I know there's a DEX that's going to be relaunching. I know. But for me, I'm going to be sitting on the sidelines until those holders have been made substantially whole again, as to which then I'll probably be a little bit more interested. But for now, what I believe is White Whale, they're a tried and tested decks, and they've been around since before the crash. This is so important for us as a community to understand that they've been through what we've been through and they didn't bail. You know, there's been so many people that have bailed time and time again. We've seen different validators come in, come out, shut down. And it kind of leaves these really empty holes in our community where people feel like they've been let down. This is why it's kind of very important to choose to stake with a validator, right? That is going to push things forward, because ultimately, if you just go for this kind of get myself as much rewards as I can, don't really care who I stake with, and not really thinking into it, and sort of going with validators that are not really building on this chain, it goes to show that I'm a validator because I've been trusted. I'm ensuring that I'm always performing as I should be for the community that looks to me to try and get the image out there and try to get these bigger players in the game to listen to us and not to look at our chain as a meme coin, because that's what I don't like. I don't want this chain to be labeled like that. It is that simple. Now, with all this being said about White Whale being tried, tested, everything like that, we should not shun anybody that wants to get listed. But what there should be, right, for these swapping systems is a very strict set of rules for those who do get listed as TerraSwaps listed. Because what can happen is you don't want to let a DEX in, for example, that siphons liquidity off, and a DEX can be designed to do this. And that's not what we want. We want ones that are going to keep the liquidity going on chain. Now, what we want as a community is as many of these swapping, the more the merrier. The more we can acquire now leading up to the bull run, the more exposure we have as a chain, the more chances that someone in the cosmos is going to see LUNC is doing good in price, is going to see the community is doing well, and they're going to think to themselves, do you know what? I'm going to put, I'm going to swap 1,000 of my atom into LUNC. I'm just going to leave it and just hope for the best. You know, we've all aped into things at this point. So for me, getting swaps back online, it's a really big win for our community, and it shows that all of the validators are working in symphony and we're trying to get things done. And like I said, it's not an easy task being a validator. You've seen people that have double signed their own nodes that want to run the blockchain, and it's kind of like you just double signed your own node. How can you run a blockchain? Now, running a blockchain isn't something that should be left down to like one group or one it should be a collaborative thing, and anyone trying to seize control and really like put themselves in a position where they're going to offer everything. It doesn't work like that. And you really need to work with all these different people like All Nodes and getting the attention of Interstellar Lounge and Thor Chain, all of these people that have committed to the idea that Lunc is dead. Because if you can convince those people that the chain isn't dead, that they're validating on, maybe you can actually get them to do something, and maybe you can actually start to interconnect people. And like I said, right, getting this back online shows TerraSwap that, hey, we don't want to see you do an Astro on us. We don't want to see you have to leave the space because we haven't got ourselves together in a situation where we can reach out and go, hey, what do you need us to do so you can stay on the chain? Don't leave. What do you need us to do? And that attitude is so, for me, so last week. And I feel like we've grown up so much in these past weeks. And realistically, everyone's figured out who they are, where they belong, and sort of their place and position in all of this moving forward. And I think people are just getting a lot more patient. They're seeing things are rolling out. And this is what I'm aiming to do here with these sort of videos, is to show you that things are happening, and not to believe this whole, oh, there's no developers working. Oh, there's a lack of developers. Oh, there's a shortage of developers. There's no shortage of developers. Honestly, I can promise you that from, my experience currently with reaching out into the cosmos and sort of seeing how we can link up LUNC of all of these different chains, and people go, have you got some like bounties over there or any hackathons going on? Be really interested in that. And it's kind of like all of these different things that we could do, but we didn't before. But guess what? We're starting to do them. And it's good because the people that are choosing to do this are doing it because they want to do it. And that for me means that they believe in the same vision that you do as a holder that comes in and buys a bag and sits on it and says to themselves, this can get to a better place. And I believe in this coin and I believe in the team. And I think that was 90% of LUNC success originally when Terra Rebels were at their peak performance. I really think that is what set our chain aside from everything, was the harmony, the symphony, and everybody being on one track route, going towards everything and trusting in the route itself. Hopefully, this is a huge term for us. What I know is when it comes down to things like this, it's down to validators simply updating their feeders and a certain amount of validators running on consensus. There's a future on this chain where people are going to suddenly realize, oh, I've staked with a validator outside the active set. Why am I not getting rewards? What is the active set? And, it's going to be a really interesting time for us moving forward, because you're going to start to discover all of these different moving parts that weren't really moving before because we just didn't have an active set. We didn't have an environment that fosters in this kind of workable, validating environment where someone thinks to themselves, I want to build on this chain. How do I do it? Okay, I spin up a validator and I build on top of that. And I'm going to be doing a video as to why you would spin up a validator and kind of try get a little bit of coaching out there and get more people to spin up nodes and try to follow their dreams, initiatives, and what they feel their place and purpose is in this community. Because I can tell each one of you listening right now, okay, crypto is for people like you and I. People who put the time in, listen, educate themselves, and do their own research. It can pay off for you, and you just really need to branch out, because you would never know unless you branched out and did it, right? Folks, I'm going to leave it on that note. Stay safe, stay humble, stay aware. I'm on a coffee break this week. No coffee whatsoever from Tuesday to Friday. Not really a week, I guess, but yeah, I'm trying my best. It's not easy. I'll catch you in the next one.